Good morning, Baljaa. How are you?
Good morning. Good evening.
Yeah, I guess it's
It's
evening in
evening in
Mongolia.
Mongolia.
That's right. Well, and to everybody joining today, Senvatskano, this is Ariel Wyckoff from Friends of Mongolia, and this is a continuing series of Friends of Mongolia interviews in which we find or identify someone doing great work towards promoting U.S.-Mongolia cooperation or making big efforts to promote the culture and development of Mongolia. Today, our featured guest is Ms. Baljaa, also called Baljaa. She is the CEO and founder of YOUTHinc, as well as being a member of other various international organizations to promote youth labor, youth education, and opportunities for advancement and professional growth for young Mongolian currently entering the labor market. So welcome. Very happy to have you on today. And the way I
Thank
usually
you.
start these interviews, just so you know, I give a brief intro of Friends of Mongolia, which I'll do, and then we'll get right into the questions because I know you're staying up late out there in Mongolia. So for those joining today who have not heard of Friends of Mongolia or aren't familiar with some of the work that we do, we are an organization dedicated to also educational opportunities for young Mongolians. We are the largest Peace Corps Mongolia alumni group in the United States as well. We do a small grants program to local NGOs and organizations, including most recently the Santos organization, who are combating domestic violence in Western Mongolia. We also have supported People in Need, an organization, a humanitarian organization that you might have heard of, doing a lot of work right now, even in the ongoing Ukraine crisis. We've supported Breathe Mongolia, an organization spreading awareness and information, gathering data about the air quality issues facing Mongolians, especially during the winter. Another project we most recently did, we partner with an organization called YCAPS that is working in Japan and in Mongolia. The group in Mongolia is called Munji Sand. They collected a lot of baseball equipment. Friends of Mongolia provided some funds to help them send it out to Mongolia. That'll be arriving. And then they're going to work with Peace Corps, NGOs, schools, and other organizations to help distribute the equipment, teach baseball, building bridges of cultural partnership through sports. Okay, so today, having introduced myself, I'd like to introduce Ms. Baljaa Chinzork. I wonder if you could go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself as we get started.
Sure. Thank you, Ariel. It's really good to see you and to be here on this Friends of Mongolia interview series. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. So my full name is Baljaa, and in short, it's Baljaa. It means sunrise in Tibetan. Maybe you haven't heard about, you don't know about that. I'm a founder of YOUTHinc, which is a young Mongolian professionals association. The logo is right here. And I'm also a coordinator of the Decent Work for Youth Network, which is a national network of 17 governmental and civil society organizations working to promote decent work for youth in Mongolia. The logo is right here, you can see. And I also am a member of the Friends for Leadership, an international network of professionals who share the best SDGs practices. And most importantly, I'm a mother of two, a boy and a girl.
The most difficult
I'm
job.
a yogi. Yes, that's why I said it's most importantly above all of this.
Yeah,
that's a big responsibility.
Everything's about the kids. Tell me about it. I just had a morning getting the kids out the door. It's pretty amazing that you have the time to do all of those things, and I definitely want to hear more about them. Given that we have about a half hour to go over a wide variety of issues, I wonder if we could start off talking specifically about labor and labor issues, why they are such a big issue in Mongolia right now, right? Maybe you can outline some of the issues faced by recent college graduates, and just let me know, what is the main issue? Is it a matter of a disconnect or a mismatch between the skills that they're learning in university and the skills required by employers? Or is it about inequity and lack of rights when they get to the workplace? Maybe you could talk about a few of those things. What are the major kind of currents and trends and issues that are kind of animating your work at the moment?
Wow, yeah, we're diving into a really big topic.
Yes, I mean that's why we're here, right? To talk about what's important.
Okay, So there's a lot to cover, actually. Mongolia is a country of youth. Almost 1/3 of our population is people aged between 15 to 34. So in our youth development promotion law, it's actually those people who are from 15 to 34 is considered youth. And the big issue in our labor market, there's a big youth unemployment rate. Our national average unemployment rate is 8.4%. It's over 8%, but this youth unemployment rate is much higher than the national average, especially those people between 15 to 24 is at 24% unemployment rate, which is almost 3 times higher than the national average. This is a really big issue. Of course, there are many factors that result in this unemployment issue. There's the main reasons for, the 60% of this unemployed people are higher educated professionals. It's very ironic, right? In other developing countries, most of these unemployed people are undereducated. But in Mongolia, it's like the other side. Many of these people graduate either some kind of bachelor's degree or TVET, some kind of education. And the youth and young professionals are unable to find jobs that they want. And they say that there's no, there are many surveys and reports, statistics say that the reason for these graduates and youth not being employed is because they can't find that job that they are looking for. And there's a low salary issue as well. Our national average salary is 1.2 million tugruks, which is about $430. Very, very low,
per
even
month?
compared. Yes, compared to our neighbors, that's like 2 to 3 times lower. So, and another issue is the long working hours. Average employee is working more than 48 hours a week, and that's approximately 51 hours per week. That's a long working hours, and you can imagine that by working long hours and being paid is discourages a lot of young people. So, but this is one side, right? And on the other side, there's a mismatch. There was another big report that I wanted to mention was let me find that one. According to the Global Competitiveness report by the World Economic Forum, Mongolia was ranked 102nd out of 141 countries with its GCI Global Competitiveness Index, which is which shows a really, really bad number. That shows that there's a big competence gap and mismatch of skills among young people. Right. This
is what I was asking about. Yeah.
Yes, this one I wanted to really highlight because of this competence gap and mismatch of skills. This result to this unemployment issues in our labor market, because these young professionals cannot find the jobs that they are looking for, and on the other side, employers cannot find the talent for the jobs that they have. There are a lot of vacancies, but they cannot fulfill these vacancies by looking for that competent, skilled workforce. That's one of the things that I really understood after coming back to Mongolia. After 10 years, is I was working for more like a demand side of employers organizations and Business Council of Mongolia, and I understood that many of these companies and employers look for this high competent, skilled, high execution workforce, that they're looking for talent, right? That's everybody's need, and human capital is the number one issue. But these reports and statistics show that they cannot really find this talent. That shows, that in the reality, supply and demand side in our labor market does not often meet because of this competence gap and that mismatch of.
So it seems that there are a lot of issues going on. You have graduates graduating highly educated. They're not able to find the jobs that they need. Even when they're getting the jobs, they're overworked and underpaid because the cost of living is too high. on the other side, the employers are saying they need a specific set of skills to meet, the growing sectors of the market or the various work that they need to be done, and they're not finding the employees that are able to meet those skills. So it's like a complex sort of number of issues. And then I just want to pick up on something that you said. You've been to the United States, you've worked there, you've been educated there. So I think that brings me now to a kind of the primary question. Given the context of what's happening in the labor market on the employee side and the employer side, and your experience, and I know you've worked with the Business Council of Mongolia, and I think one or more of the international chambers of commerce, and done work that partners with the International Labor Organization. What now is Youth Inc. doing in that context to address some of these issues and to empower some of the employees and meet the needs of the employers?
Right. The YOUTHinc, the Young Mongolian Professional Association, was reestablished in Mongolia in 2019. That's after 10 years after we established the same organization, the Young Mongolian Professional Association, in the United States in 2009. So right after that 10 years, there was this need to reestablish these organizations to bridge the gap between youth and employers. Because of my work experiences, working in the United States, establishing this organization, we have that experience. I have to really work with these like-minded young professionals. We can achieve much bigger things together, right? But in Mongolia, you see that there's this labor market issues and high competence and competence gap and mismatch of skills, all types of issues. So I thought that we need to really establish this organization to be the bridge, to bridge the gap between youth and the employers. That's why we have our organization has this mission to build a sustainable, inclusive, membership-based platform for both youth and employers to connect and grow together. I thought that initially just connecting was so easy, but now it has a whole lot of issue. So what is really important is really working together to connect and grow together. That's why I called our organization as it's a new generation team. Both employers and young people need to work out to connect and grow together. So it's a new generation team. Right.
Yeah. That's great. So I mean and I really like this idea. You saw this need, you saw the needs on both ends, employer, the employees. You brought your experience and you started restarted an organization that began in the United States. Maybe you can talk specifically about some of the programs and initiatives that you're running right now. And maybe also some of the numbers that are involved. You talk about having a platform. What specifically do you mean by that?
Sure. I believe connecting the right-minded and like-minded young professionals in a more meaningful engagement, sharing our knowledge, information, and opportunities together, we can build a better future. Especially when we are competent and healthy. Right. Yeah. So there's a need to unite these young professionals, especially young Mongolian professionals, to contribute to our country's development. Therefore, our vision is to become a representative organization of young Mongolian professionals who develop their work-life harmony and competence. So competence is a big thing, and all of our activities actually really focus on personal and professional development of our members. So we have in our work and activities of support the UN Sustainable Development Goals for 2030 agenda, particularly SDG 3 for health and well-being, SDG 4 for quality education, SDG 5 for gender equality, SDG 8 is decent work and economic growth, and SDG 17 global partnership for the sustainable development. So we run programs like to promote both, that covers both personal and professional development. So they are called the Internship Program and BFIT Program. Internship and BFIT programs are two main flagship programs of our organization to
You've got the
support our vision
program and the BFIT program.
And the BFIT program, right?
Okay.
So the
what is the internship program? I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. Go ahead. Talk about your programs.
And the internship program is a 6-month program to help the youth side, to help the student, young professionals, and the recent graduates to build their soft skills, to gain more practical work experiences, to enhance their employability competencies. So it's all about professional development.
Great.
And on the other side, it's the BFIT program. It's a 90-day personal health and wellness program that promotes healthy lifestyle and healthy habits to increase the productivity. It's about the personal development. So we are dividing the two programs to support personal and professional development. And the unique thing about our organization is we try to really make it like a work and life harmony. We're like integrating both personal development and professional development through this important flagship programs is supported. It's because we really need in this new change of our life, work and life, everything has been changing. So
that's right.
This type of program support.
I think that's I was going to say, I think that's pretty groundbreaking and innovative to think about the work-life balance side of things, because I'm not sure that's been a focus for people in Mongolia in quite the way it has in the United States. And even in the United States, it's not always as well regarded. There's a whole wellness industry, and people understand the need for stress reduction and exercise and staying fit to some degree. But even then, there's a little bit of a skepticism about that. But maybe you could tell me just a little bit more about some of your partners in these programs. Who are you working with on the internship side and also on the BFIT side?
Right. Of course, we understand that YOUTHinc cannot do everything by ourselves, and our strategy is really working together, supporting with this effective partnerships with the supporting organizations like yours, Friends of Mongolia. We're really happy that we are partnering with you. We have announced we did this great gathering, Friends of Mongolia and YOUTHinc gathering event last week, and we'll talk about that a little bit later.
Yeah, we'll talk about
you
that
asked about that. So supporting these programs, we are now partnering with various partners and organizations who support our these two programs as well. For example, on this internship program, we are working with ISEC Mongolia, as well as Friends of Mongolia with you. And on the BFIT program, we are partnering with the AMSA, that Asian Medical Students Association.
Okay, that's great.
These are the professional association of the medical students, because our BFIT program is a more holistic, it is more holistic approach, right? Like it incorporates mind, body, spirit, nutrition, and community. And of course, in order to fully integrate this full program, we need to work with more professionals and experts in their fields. And working with this AMSA on the BFIT program, we are also experts like the fitness experts, because they are also very practical. We have to deal with fitness, incorporate fitness and exercise and nutrition.
That
and the
really
AMSA, they are also covering the spirit sides, especially now after the COVID, this mental health. We need to be really healthy, both physically and mentally, by learning healthy lifestyle, healthy habit. So incorporating all of that concepts. Exactly.
Those are things that are really, really important in being not just a productive worker, but just a healthy and productive person in general. So I think that's a really unique and innovative idea that your organization is presenting. You talked about the internship program. I think you've had 2 or 3 iterations of the internship program already. How many students or young people have been involved, could you say, to date? And also, I'd like you to put in the chat at some point, or I can add it, about your website, so people can find more information in English and Mongolian about YOUTHinc.
Sure. Our website is www.youthink.mn. So Currently, what you see on our website, that the numbers are mostly those students who take part in our internship program and our activities. That's a little bit over 300 numbers, but we implemented internship program last year, pilot tested the program, pilot 1 and pilot 2. And as I said, this is a 6-month program. The first pilot test was done in 2021 from January till July, June, and the second cohort, pilot 2, was implemented from July till December. So we graduated nearly a little bit over 30 students and graduates. So they were not only students, it represented actually all target groups of these young professionals. We are talking about like students and also working professionals, and location wise, not only from UB, but they are also from provinces, and people and young professionals working abroad, studying abroad. They also took part in our pilot programs.
That's great. And that's sort of, and I'm really glad to hear about that. And that kind of brings me now to the point of the connection between Friends of Mongolia and YOUTHinc, and our new partnership on the Matthew Girvin Scholarship Program. So the Matthew Girvin Program began in 2006. We've provided scholarships through Friends of Mongolia for roughly 200 different students from the countryside, from the GAR districts, that want to study in UB or in the AMIC centers and the province centers, all fields of study and work. And they do go on to do great jobs. They find work in accounting and business and medicine and mathematics and English translation and becoming school professors, etc. They go on and do a lot of good work. And just now, as you talked about, we've signed a partnership agreement and launched a partnership with YOUTHinc for this latest round of Matthew Girvin Fellows. Now we're rebranding the program, not to Friends of Mongolia Matthew Girvin Scholarship, but the Friends of Mongolia YOUTHinc Matthew Girvin Scholarship. And Matthew Girvin was a dedicated UNICEF employee who passed away tragically in an accident in Mongolia, and his family has supported us in promoting youth opportunities in education since that time, and in his memory, just so folks know who Matthew Girvin was. But maybe you could talk about the way that the scholars are going to plug in to the youth internship program and the event you had at the American Corner and the signing just last week.
Yes, I taking this opportunity, I really would like to say that we are really excited about this new partnership on this rebranding and the collaboration on this Matthew Girvin scholarship program, because this scholarship is it's helping these young professionals to assist with their full, cover the full cost of the tuition for these students to be able to study in universities, both in the Ulaanbaatar and AMIC district, AMIC centers. So it's really a great opportunity for us to be able to assist in this Matthew Girvin scholarship. So it actually expands our programs, not only our 2 flagship programs, but with this partnership opportunity with the Friends of Mongolia. We are expanding the opportunity for this next generation of young Mongolians for this local scholarship program with Friends of Mongolia. And to talk about this event that that took place last Friday, it was a success because after this COVID, it was a good, big gathering event of colleagues and partners. We had special guests came from the U.S. Embassy, UNICEF, the Peace Corps, as well as people in need and others. And really great keynote speeches talking about how they are also involved in this program and the partnership. From the UNICEF, actually, there were more than 5 people came. So
that's great.
It was a big deal. Yeah, it was great, and very important keynote speeches were delivered, and our scholarship students also shared their stories. Also,
I like hearing
so it was great. And we're really happy that we are expanding this opportunity by offering for the scholarship students, by offering our internship program and BFIT program as well. So they're already working with us in our pilot 3, starting from this year 2022. So we are collaborating more in a meaningful way right now, so to help them to increase their competencies and soft skills in a more practical way, right?
Yeah,
They're working in
you know,
teams.
I always love hearing about these things, and it's such a pleasure to speak with you because you're so enthusiastic and you believe in these sorts of things. When partners get together, when people get together and start working together and start helping each other out, great things can happen. So when I hear about there was an event and we had the Peace Corps and the US Embassy and UNICEF and People in Need and Youth Inc. and Friends of Mongolia all together talking about sort of the power to build, to help youth have better lives, the power that youth have, the potential they have to do great things for themselves and for the country in Mongolia. It fills my heart with joy because that's the kind of thing that motivates me. That's what animates me. And it's why I'm also very excited about this opportunity with YOUTHinc and the Friends of Mongolia scholars. We talk to them, and you know, it's like some of them come from out in the Hada, some from the Ger district, and if it weren't for these types of opportunities, they wouldn't have that space to grow personally and professionally and academically. And then when you talk to them, they've got plans. They're going places. They are going to be doctors. They are going to be government leaders and professors and engineers. And I love the idea that an organization like yours that takes those skills and that potential and says, okay, here's what the employers want. Let's get you there from where you are now. And we're going to give you the opportunity, and we're going to build your leadership skills and your analytical thinking, and we're going to get you in the workplace and get you accustomed to the way it feels and to understand things. And this is how you send better professional emails, and this is how you write a resume, and all those important skills that are going to get them to what's needed by the Mongolian employers. That's fabulous. I mean, that can be life-changing for them, and it's fantastic. So I think
That's
we've
the
gone
way
on.
to bridge the gap,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. You're bridging the gap.
Not directly connecting and like to meet with the two sides. It's impossible. I thought
Yeah.
that initially that's how we are going to do it, but being really involved and working with these individuals and from the demand side and developing internship program is a very complex program. It's an integrated program. There are many things involved in it, like knowledge sharing, trainings, and one big thing that I also wanted to add was the study tour. Here,
Right.
with these pilot programs, we've been doing study tours to bringing this pilot program attendees to tour the business organizations. So we did last week. Last week was a pretty busy week for us because we also organized the study tour with the Host Solution. There's 8 subsidiary organizations of the Gund Investment Holding. So many of our students from the Friends of Mongolia, the scholarship recipients, they participated in this study tour, so that they were able to see in practice in a very short period of time what these different 8 organizations are doing on the ground, right? So because visually they can experience that experience, and there was actually training was held, and so they attended in the training, systems thinking, and they were able to see different organizations on the ground in more practical way. So they were pretty happy about that, and this is part of the internship program to help them develop professionally and also personally, so that after they're being developed, we connect with these employers. But not after, but in the meantime, by partnering with this through effective partnerships with the supporting organizations.
That's wonderful. I can imagine that, and the employers appreciate that because you're saying, what do you need? Tell us what you want, and we're going to try to deliver that to you. We're going to try to bring a cadre of students up to that level, or to provide them the types of skills and insights that would make them effective at your workplace. I mean, that's a win for them, because then they're not just doing these blind interviews and hoping that someone gets it in a way. They're like, okay, I know this guy. He's come to our
Mhm.
place. He's worked with us. He's understood what our organization does. He's asked questions. He's seen us on the job. He's participated a little bit. That, I mean, that is going to be the type of thing that an employer is going to enjoy, because then they know I can count on this person. I know that they get it in terms of what we need in our workplace. But I also, again, coming back to this BFIT idea, I really like that you're promoting that in Mongolia, because I have not seen that. And I have seen, the stress level in Mongolian workplace. I've lived in Mongolia for 40 years at different points, and I've seen, a lot of things happen, and people need a program for stress relief. And they need to understand that it's okay, to take that time, you know, you carve out, a half hour to just, do some stretching, go to the gym for half an hour, and have that be okay with the employer, because when they come back, they're going to be refreshed and not, stressed out and distracted and whatnot. So again, we've gone on for more than half an hour, and I do very much want to thank you for taking the time, and I appreciate all that you do, and I appreciate you taking the time in the evening at home with 2 kids to come and talk to me virtually. Are there any last things you want to mention? Any last words that you want to leave a viewing audience with?
um, 2 things on that BFIT idea. You know, this idea about work and life harmony is getting really, really important. It's because it's about you. It's about your health, your energy, your happiness, whether you invest to make your life fully wealthier. It's really important. And nowadays, it's about achieving your both personal and professional goals at the same time. So not just like pursuing one and then leaving the rest of these important things behind. The Japanese idea about ikigai, the reason for being, it's like that. It helps us to rethink about what we love, what we're good at, what we can be paid for, and what the world needs. So our organization is really trying to incorporate these 2 important ideas as like yin and yang, and you can see on our website that we try to incorporate and to give our members, both the young Mongolian professionals and the businesses, to help them understand this both personal and professional development is important, and integrating especially health promotion into our workplace is another big concept, right? Because nowadays the world is really changing a lot. The way we live, the way we work has changed dramatically because of all this technological advances, AI, robotics, and even COVID-19 pandemic. Now people understand about health is so important, both physically and mentally. But the idea in Mongolia, especially when we are talking about health, it's like only those health organizations, the hospitals, or like the gyms, yoga studios. It's a separate thing. And professional life, we are so busy, trying to work out things on with our busy jobs and stuff like that. But we would like to encourage employers to assist with their employees to take care of their, health and wellness. And our BFIT program can help out to integrate this health and well-being in a more integrated way, so that it increases the employee morale, productivity. When you do, just one example, exercise and do fitness, we sweat, and with the sweat, there's a lot of stress go out as well. There's so many good benefits. Being active, living a healthy lifestyle really benefits both mentally and physically. We also need to understand about being mindful, doing meditation, and be positive. Surround ourselves with positive people, and to build such a community is so important, because we really need to get connected with the right-minded and like-minded individuals, both individuals and organizations. Together, we can achieve much bigger and better things.
That's great.
To contribute.
I love it. I love it. And just to remind folks, www.youthinc.mn, YOUTHINC.mn, www.youthinc.mn and people can employers, can they apply to have interns?
Yes,
Can
yes.
they apply for BFIT, or do they register?
Right.
Also, can
So
people
our
register for
platform
the?
is, we welcome both young professionals and employers and organizations to sign up on our platform, because it's free to sign up. So, and it's working right now. So you already mentioned about our website, so people for them to, if they be encouraged, young professionals, if they want to develop more like seriously, personally and professionally, and work with us, support one another, come and join with us by signing up for free. And then we will provide more tailored activities and services for our members, because everybody's needs are different, the interests are different. Some people and young professionals and organizations maybe look for more professional development programs, and the rest are more interested in developing personally, more interested in our BFIT program, for example. And you could imagine our standard, we're going to have like two types of membership. One is for the young professionals, and the other one is for the businesses.
Right.
And we're going to soon to launch our membership packages. But for now, joining is free, and then we're going to offer a standard package, which is like a general gym membership. You go to the gym, right? You pay for the fee for one year, and it depends on you, like whether you can use the gym every single day, or once a week, or several times a year. It's a
different,
right?
it's a different scale on
exactly. But if you want to have some kind of real results, achieve some goals, then you need some kind of coaching program.
Right.
So that's we here our flagship programs like the Internship Program and BFIT Program is going to help out for our members to really show results, to reach some results together by coaching and mentoring. We can connect with the mentors and coaches. So it's like the upgrading of the membership, and soon we're going to launch and introduce more about this membership categories.
Great.
Of our premium categories.
Premium categories. So you do an assessment, right? For businesses, I want your help. I don't quite know how. You can do an assessment, and then your group will have interviews and talk to them and figure out quite what their needs are. And then from that approach, you can talk about bringing in interns, creating study tours, discussing if they want BFIT, those sorts of things. Is that accurate?
Right. Even before that, for the standard membership, the member resources, people can access our training and activities calendar, so they can choose whatever trainings and activities they can participate.
So you already have a standard calendar. These are the trainings that are going to occur.
Yes,
you sign up and you can come in, and you're going to have. What are the types of trainings that we're talking about?
Trainings and activities that both support personal and professional development. So offered by our supporting organizations, all these activities and trainings, events, they can be also on our calendar. So our members can, not only YOUTHinc can organize events or trainings, but those are our partnering organizations and supporting organizations. If they have a very interesting activity or important, useful training, they can also insert their activities on our platform as well. So it's basically sharing information, so everybody can benefit from it. And even in our standard package, our members can write their blogs, whatever they think, it's like a medium to share what is valuable, to share knowledge, writing blogs, and building that community. But that premium category, it's more like results-oriented approaches, and all of these activities of our members is recorded on our platform, so that we know that if a young professional has when he or she starts in a certain level, and then if we record all those journeys, what type of activities he or she participated, whether this young professional showed up on different type of activities like study tours, took assessment, how they have developed. We can record it and then provide it to the employers.
That's really good. But you said something. you said something a minute ago that I think is really important, which is that organizations can promote some of their trainings and activities, your partner organizations, on your website. And in that way,
Yes,
even just that is a huge service, because then you're creating kind of a hub, right? So
right.
you're bringing all these different groups together. If I'm interested specifically in labor rights, or if I'm, how do I make my workplace more friendly for disabled people? Or we have an issue with low morale, or we want to bring in more people from this particular sector, whether it's science or mathematics. We want to improve the skill level. People have difficulty communicating. They don't know how to write emails correctly, and there's all these mismatches of communication. How do we address that?
Mhm,
And they're promoting their different trainings on their approaches. And on
mhm,
your
mhm.
website, that gives them, increased access and adds value, even if nothing else, just being able to do that. And through your website, reaching a broader community. I
Mhm,
just want to bring attention to that, because that's a really valuable thing when you can serve as
mhm.
that type of hub for all the labor related and employment related and professional development related activities or organizations in and around you being Mongolia.
Right.
Um,
And people can choose based on their interest. They don't have to, participating in everything that we offer, our partners offer. But there's going to be full of activities and trainings, events happening. You would imagine that there's going to be a lot of organization about partnering with us and joining in our platform. They would be able to share what's going on with their organizations, and people can access our platform as a member resource. They get what they're interested in, they just sign up for it, and including the study tour. Study tour is
Great.
one of it's going to be a brand event, an activity that we are going to continue doing it because we love doing it. It's a great experience. Ariel, before we finish, I forgot I wanted to mention about our decent work for youth networks activity with the International Labour Organization, because decent work for youth network is, we have recently implemented a short-term project, and this project was very important, that was raising awareness of
Mhm.
labor rights of youth in Mongolia in the context of the revised labor law, because
Okay.
revised labor law is now being effective starting from January of this year to 2022. And as we recently just talked, that many things have been changing, and the revised labor law has got all these provisions and implications that protect the labor rights of the youth, because in the current workforce, the youth are the most vulnerable group.
Mhm.
Their rights are being violated in the workplace. Discrimination, all types of violated, and youth cannot don't know how to protect their rights because of lack of knowledge and understanding. So with this decent work for youth network, which is a national network, right, like composed of 17 governmental and civil society organizations, it's a unique way of our partnership with this network. And ILO, International Labour Organization, supports, and European Union, as well as the UN Global Initiative on Decent Jobs for Youth, has been supporting this campaign in our network. So on our website, there's a tab or menu called Decent Work for Youth Network, and all of our digital media supporting this campaign is there. You can access it from there. So that one I wanted to share as
That's
well,
really
because
good.
many important things are there, like posters, infographics, very useful information about the latest statistical information is there, as well as some story sharing, podcast information. So useful information so people can access by visiting our website there.
You have got a lot going on, and I applaud your efforts. That is actually a really important thing. If there's a new labor law for youth and you're connected to an organization that's able to explain to youth some of their rights and some of the protections, so that if they do get into a sticky situation, they're able to find adjudication, they're able to report things and protect themselves without fear of retribution. at the workplace. That's a really good thing. And I have heard stories. I've heard some bad stories about people facing tough workplace situations and just getting dismissed the second they try to raise a red flag about something. Really valuable. So this has been a really great morning. You have so much information and so much energy and so much to say. You're doing great work for young people that are joining the workplace, that are about to graduate, and for employees that are looking for better performance, increased quality, ways to build a better workforce and improve the employment environment at their various establishments. And I also have to say, I really greatly appreciate your efforts to collaborate and to work with Friends of Mongolia to do more for our scholarship recipients. They are the heart of what we do at Friends of Mongolia, is this Matthew Girvin Scholarship Program, which is now the Friends of Mongolia Youth Inc. Matthew Girvin Scholarship Program. It's kind of a brand new day, and we're going to take this bigger and better and try to do more and bring in more people and provide more resources together. So thank you so much for joining me this morning. Mashtik Baljaa. I'm very happy to have spoken to you. And I'm going to wish you a good evening, and let's reconnect later.
I want to say thank you, Ariel, for this opportunity, talking with me, as well as your efforts, also joining on our International Advisory Board of experts. We are so honored to have you and all of our international experts from all over the world. As people can see that our organization is not only it's a local organization, but it's more like an international approach, because we have international advisors, and we're very proud having you to be on the board.
That's flattering. But I mean, and I've seen some of the advisors there, top-notch people, high quality, very professional individuals from across the globe. So thank you for having me on the board. Okay. Any last words?
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Well, bye. Thank you.
Sure.